Okay, here we are at Game Instruction Fail Part 9. And I usually start off all my segments by stating if you're just tuning in now and don't know what this is and would like to or are curious, please watch Game Instruction Fail Part 1 as it explains everything. Okay, now some of you may or may not have noticed that every game I've covered so far has been in alphabetical order. Now the ironic thing about that is the last part of this segment, game number 11, which is this segment here, just so happens to be the last game in alphabetical order, but this game is the worst game of all time for instructions ever. This one even surpasses how bad the instructions are on Guild Wars. And the game I'm talking about is Runes of Magic. Okay? This is the ultimate screwed up, beyond comprehension, lack of anything being explained game, period. Now, there are so many problems with this game. I'm going to quickly go down the list as fast as I can just to get most of them out of the way. Okay, first, this game has a tutorial system in it that only explains 3 things: how to move, how to accept quests, and how to attack, and it does it in that order. So when you leave the tutorial, that's all you know how to do. Yet, if you ask anybody in the game how to do something, they'll ask you, didn't you follow the tutorial? Which is kind of ironic because the tutorial in the game only explains 3 things. So there's nothing explained about that either. The second issue is the mapping system. Okay? There is no description whatsoever on how to find anybody on your map, how to add anybody to your party, and there's sure as hell no map markers on there denoting where anybody in your party even is. That brings to an even bigger problem because I guess in one of the loading screens or across one of the screens it says pressing M will bring up the world map, which is a crock of crap because pressing M doesn't bring up the world map. It brings up a localized map that has no instructions on anything, and there's nothing interactive on that map. If there is, I haven't found it. So there's no way to act like that's a lie. That instruction is misprinted. Pressing M does not bring up the world map. Pressing M brings up the local map. Another issue is that the game explains quests, but it doesn't explain to you how to do them. Okay, there's no instructions on how to actually do a lot of the quest. I mean, yeah, you can go to the markers, but eventually what happens is some of these markers disappear and you can't find anybody. And again, because of the way the mapping system is, you don't even know how to look on the map to find these people. And this isn't simple as clicking a button. Alright, that brings me to the skills issue. There is no explanation on how to use the skills. And what I mean by that is there are 2 ways to look at using skills. Pressing the corresponding key that the skill goes with, but then in Runes of Magic, you actually have to use the skill some way, because one of the quests is that I can remember off the top of my head that's a major problem is I guess there's this guy named Woody in the game, and you have to bring him ash timber. So basically the game says bring him 5 something of ash timber. Now, how do you make the ash timber? There is nothing in the game that explains how to make the ash timber. Sure, it says, use wood crafting. Use your wood crafting skill. But it doesn't tell you how to actually use the skill. I can sit and put that to a corresponding key, but unless I'm told actually how to activate and use that skill, it doesn't matter. I can sit and press the key all I want. It's not going to make me use the skill. So the instruction on how to actually use the skill in itself is missing. That brings me to another issue. Supposedly you have housing in this game. Now, in the housing, I mean, this really, what I'm about to bring up here really isn't an issue, but it's just, I find this odd, because I guess you can make house energy out of diamonds or something like that. Now, I guess there's an outside housemaid that you buy the house from or whatever, and then there's an inside housemaid that's supposed to explain to you how to use the stuff in the house or do the house or there's a menu or whatever. But anyway, the outside housemaid, I've been through every single one of her menus. The inside housemaid, I've been through every single one of her menus. It says how to make the house energy. You use diamonds to do it. It doesn't tell you what the house energy is used for once it's made. There's nothing in there. And I've had people try to tell me, oh, it's in there. I'm like, well, take a screenshot and show me. Because I've actually screenshotted it. It's not in there. That brings me to another issue. When you talk to the lady about getting the house out to begin with, or I forget where you get it, I guess you get something called a leather storage chest. Well, the problem with that is, I guess you're supposed to put this inside the house. You're supposed to put it down. There's no instructions on how to actually place furniture either. There is absolutely no option in there, and there's no button on the screens anywhere that says place furniture that you can click on, and that when you click on it, the furniture shows up. I've tried dragging it out of my inventory, and all it does is ask me if I want to destroy it. So I don't know how to place furniture because there's no instruction. And everyone says, oh, it's explained in the maid's instructions. No, it's not, because I've had screenshots of it. There's nothing anywhere in there that says place furniture. It doesn't state anywhere the exact procedure for placing furniture. The other thing, too, I find interesting is that supposedly people say, oh, press F10. That explains everything. Nope, doesn't explain anything because you don't even know F10 even works. So you'd have to have instructions, somebody telling you about F10 to find the instructions for F10. So that's screwed up. So yes, I'm saying the instructions need instructions. And again, if you ask people inside the game for this information, they're going to tell you you're stupid, you should know this stuff. There's no way you can have knowing any of this stuff. Which brings me, I guess, to the next part. What I find really amusing is that supposedly there is a dual class skill. I have no idea how to get that because I've had level 16s in this game, I've had level 23s, and I've never seen anywhere on how to get to a dual skill. I've read that you can get to dual skill by talking to this mayor or something. I had no idea where the mayor was because the game didn't tell me how to find the mayor either. So I don't know what the hell this game is doing, but I don't know. I just don't get it. There's no point in, getting aggravated over a game. But I just find it, like I said, I wanted to bring this up because so far everything I've explained, everything I've told you is wrong with the game is in fact wrong. And if you play the game, you'll see it. One other major issue that a lot of people don't seem to get is that they don't seem to understand what a shop is in the game. So one of the things that I talk about is that you have this item, I guess. You have this thing in your person, your inventory. It's one of the hotkeys. It's something about shop item backpack. Okay? It's very simple. Okay, so a shop item backpack. That means it's items you get from an in-game NPC or vendor that you can place in there. So I went and I bought, I bought like a couple potions or something from one of the vendors in the game. I opened up the item shop backpack. I tried placing them in there. It says only items from the shop can go in there. I'm like, what? I just bought items from a shop. Because an NPC vendor in the game is a shop. That's what every single RPG calls a shop. It's an NPC in-game vendor. So if you're buying stuff from an NPC in-game vendor, anything you buy from them are items. All those items are from the store. So therefore, the store is considered a shop. So therefore, you're buying items from the store. So therefore, the item shop backpack should store these items, but you can't get them in there, so that item is broken. I've had people try to argue with me. It means this. I'm like, dude, it says in-game item shop backpack. Items you buy from an in-game NPC vendor are shop items, period. There's no arguing that. You can sit and try to twist that around whatever you want, but that's always what an in-game vendor is for an NPC. It's something I can walk up, spend gold, and buy stuff. So anyway, I don't understand them. They're just stupid. But anyway, the other issue was marking teleportation points. No explanation on how to do it. It's one of the most screwed up things I've ever seen. It says, go talk to this person. I went through the entire person's dialogue conversation. I reread it like 6 times, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? I need to mark this, this, and this. But everything I did, they failed to tell you. You need about 3 or 4 other ingredients. Then you need to go to another place, and that stuff's not even told to you. So basically, this game, and that's only the base beginning of it. There's way more things wrong with it. It's like every single thing I did in this game, there was something wrong with it. It wasn't explained. Every single thing I tried doing in this game, I couldn't do. The only thing I could do was find people on the map that I had to go to and turn it in. I have no idea how to do anything else in this game because it's not explained, even though people say it is. So basically, if you can take anything that I said and find me the actual instruction in the game where it actually breaks down what I'm saying is missing, I'll give anybody $100 because you're not going to find it because it doesn't exist unless they recently implemented it. So that's the only other way you'd get around this is that they recently implemented it because I haven't played this game in months because of that. So Alright, anyway, that ends the segment, and I hope you have enjoyed the series. Have fun. Game instruction fails.